Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris here, and I'm finally done traveling for the summer. Had a couple of great vacations, but settled in back at home now, and I've had a chance to catch up on a couple of different things that I've been wanting to see. More specifically, the newest season of Stranger Things, season 3, is something that I've really been looking forward to for a long time, like a lot of people have. And because there are only 8 episodes, I was able to sit and sort of binge watch that. So I actually started watching it in Colorado with some family while I was out there. I watched the first 2 episodes and then finished the last 6 last night. So I just really kind of sat and plowed through them all in one sitting almost, kind of broke it up a little bit. Maybe had a little nap in between. But I just wanted to share my thoughts with that and just see what you think about it. So if you enjoy the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe and let me know what you think. So in my mind, this third season is probably the second best of all 3 seasons. So, like a lot of people, I still think that the first season is the best. It had the most punch to it, I think. I think it took a lot of people by surprise by how well it sort of used a Spielbergian 80s Goonies-ish approach to really play on nostalgia effectively, especially for people my age. So I was born in 1982. Really, grew up in the, I guess you would say 90s, but have some memories, of the late 80s and sort of that culture. And of course the film culture that sort of surrounded that. And Stranger Things has always done a good job, I think, of sort of playing on that and making that sort of its central focus. And in a lot of ways, the thing that makes it most successful. For me, the story of Stranger Things has always been good. I would never say great. I think the characters are very, very good, actually. In a lot of ways, they tend to elicit some emotion that you may not otherwise expect. And I found that within the final 2 episodes or so of this third season, and I'm not going to include any spoilers here, some of the decisions that the showrunners make with the characters, are really powerful, and they really sort of engage the audience and make you kind of stay on your toes, not really knowing what's going to happen, and maybe assuming that they're going to play it safe when in fact, in a lot of cases, they don't necessarily. So I really appreciated that. But story-wise, you kind of have a little bit of a wash, rinse, repeat thing happening with Stranger Things, where this portal to another dimension, I guess you would say, is opened up either by crazy scientists or evil foreign powers or whatever you want to call it. And these kids, who are otherwise just sort of looked at as nerds and kind of ignored, are the ones that ultimately have to do something about it and close it down with some, parental guidance, kind of helping out along the way at key moments and giving us some characters that we do care about. So again, I think the characters are great. I think they continue to add new characters that are great in this third season and to build on the stories of characters we already know and are familiar with really well. The story itself, I think, is fine. I don't think it's amazing necessarily, and I think it does leave a lot of questions at times. There's a major plot point with Elle or 11, who's been a central character of the show, since its inception. I think toward the end that I don't know makes a whole lot of sense, or we don't get a lot of explanation about that. Again, I'm going to try to make it as spoiler-free as possible, since this is having just been recently released, and a lot of people haven't seen it yet, more than likely. But I think there are some things about the show that they could maybe do a little bit better. But there are some episodes in this third season that really work well. One of my favorites is the penultimate, the next to last episode. Is sort of centered around a number of things, but it has sort of a Back to the Future theme running through it. They even use some of the musical cues, and at one point the kids are sort of running in and out of the theater while that's showing, and it's just really well done how it works. That episode, in a lot of ways for me, encompassed everything about Stranger Things that I love about that as a show. That was, to me, maybe the best episode of this third season. The final episode was also great, and the effects in this season are really, really good too. Obviously movie quality given Netflix's budget, but just really top notch and really well made. So now I will say, I think early on in this third season, the first couple of episodes weren't bad necessarily. I think some people have noted that they're a little bit goofy, maybe, and I think that's probably a good word to use for it. I was kind of searching for another word, but I think that's probably the best word. It really plays up on sort of 80s comedy tropes, almost to a fault at certain points within the first few episodes. But this season really hits its pace probably in the 4th episode or so, and then moves forward really quickly from there in a good way. Again, there are some things that aren't as well developed as they could be in terms of the plot, but Stranger Things, I think, mainly succeeds because of nostalgia, and that is also the case here. and because it has characters we love. Even though the plot doesn't always make a whole lot of sense, the characters are great, the nostalgia is great, the setting is great, and so it works. So I'm going to give this third season an 8.5 out of 10. I usually use whole numbers, but I think this one kind of falls squarely in that. Had the first few episodes been a little bit stronger, I maybe would be leaning toward a 9 or even a 9.5. But it does do enough right on the back end to make it, of course, worth watching. And I think that would be the case, for long-time fans of the show, probably no matter what. So 8.5 out of 10. But let me know what you think. Do you agree with that? Do you think that I've missed something here? Maybe there's a plot point that I missed that would explain some of the criticisms that I have a little bit about the third season. But again, it's been a great season. It stinks that I was able to blow through it in one day, but that's what we do with binge watching, and now we have to wait, I presume, a couple more years if we're going to even get a fourth season, which I, again, assume will happen, but we'll see. So, again, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and have a great start to your week.